So far, we've discussed from trafficbuildersguide.com, we talked about how to implement your website onto how it looks on Google. Well, I'm going to do a couple more searches of some other clients that we have done um, and see if we can find out how they are listed on Google. So we're just going to pick some keywords that represent them. Okay. So here is Monroe Truck Accessories at Muskegon.com, and you can kind of see how they have Monroe Truck because they want to be focused on that, and they want to be focused on auto accessories. But we didn't actually write auto accessories. If I would add the word auto accessories, it would narrow it down a little bit more clear to the business. And as you can see now, it's actually changed, and their site links are showing up right here at the top. Also, they have a video here from YouTube, and they have their side bar menu here of their address and all that stuff, and it looks like kind of Google's having some problems with it today, but usually it's good. This, and so we go down here. This is another one of their websites, and it just keeps going because they follow a lot of the instructions of using your Facebook, using YouTube, and they actually are currently underutilizing their YouTube, because if they were to add a couple more YouTube videos, it would be up at top. But let's just go ahead and look at their website, what it looks like. So it comes in here, and we're looking at their website. They have some a lot of different topics, a lot of different structures, a lot of different keywords and stuff. The most important part of their whole website is found here. This is how we communicate directly with Google. Every term that you want to be listed as or be found as, you're going to do a search on keywords, such as a person will go to Google and they'll say like let me copy something that they're saying. So we say trailer guide, and I'm going to copy this article, and I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to add their town just to see what comes up first, to see if they're in there. So we're looking at this stuff. This is ads right here, then it's U-Haul, and then it's Monroe Truck Accessories, which is found actually here, and then that's it. So if I was going to be working with a little bit more, I would actually hit a little bit more descriptive on this and then really affect it. But like, let's see here, trailer repairs. Let's see if they come up. Yeah, let's do parts too, and then we'll just do Muskegon, which is their region, and see how they do. So every time I Google something like this, I would have to remake a new link to find out why they're not here. Okay, so technically they're not here on Google. So the first thing I would do is I would write an article using that article program with this exact title, because I have found that I'm not there. So when you're finding yourself and you're like, I really want to be found under my keywords, you're going to have to do this over and over again and then write an article that's built off of that title. But if we go back to the website, which we're going to take a look here, let me go find some rare title, see something that's a little more unique in keyword types. Let's try something like this one. Here we go. And we do a little Google search here. Can add their city on her, and they're here, here, and then it starts going in with the other neighbors. So if I wrote like 4 or 5 more articles talking about this exact same topic with it in here and with it in the title and with it in the keywords, I could eliminate this whole page, as you did see from when I typed in the word from the last video. We were talking about this website I was currently working on, and as you can see, it's all the same website that I was promoting for that keyword right here. So that's just me focusing on that one keyword. Now if I changed it to something else, like let's look at the 21-day trial. So we say free 21-day trial, and we'll go and see how my website comes up. Notice that it's not coming up on there because the keyword I focused on was tutors, and that's where I wanted to be. But if you look at here, so I would have to do a little bit of work on the Eve 21-day trial. I would actually have to edit my meta tags and do that. Well, most people, they don't know how to edit their meta tags because they don't have the ability to edit their own website. So in the next clip, I'm going to teach you guys how to edit your website directly. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Let me go ahead and pause this for a second and we'll switch over. Okay, I have this set up here. If you go to admin.softwaredemosite.com, you're more than welcome to log into our software and play around with it. What we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to put admin as the user and the password is all capital admin, and we're just going to log straight in. And this is a kind of a simple CMS that we've put together for demonstration, and also you can use it for your website as well. Remember we were talking about article pages here. So let's say that I wanted to be found as something on Google. What I would do is first I would open up Google and I would Google what I want to find. Let's try something new and used computers. Let's just check on that. So this is an ad here, and then down below is this. And this is refurbished computers. That's a good keyword to have in there as well. So we're going to add this one. And then I'm looking, okay, so nobody is a competition for me as I can see, except for maybe this guy has a keyword like that. So what we're going to have to do, we're going to go ahead and copy this exact phrase, and then I'm going to go into my article page and I'm going to create an article and I'm going to post this information here, and then I'm going to have a header. I'm going to set my heading here as number 1. Okay, and we're just going to go ahead and do this, and then that's all I'm going to put in for right now. Now, once I've saved this article, we see that it has a meta tag in red. That lets us know that we haven't done our meta tags. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on meta tag, and I'm going to put that as my same title, same description, and then I'm going to add used computers, new computers, and for sale computers, because the keyword, remember, is the word that I'm looking to find is computers in general. So same thing here. We're going to go computers, this used computers, for sale computers, and then so on, so on. And then we'll just put it right there. And then we put in our date, and in the future this will all be done to automatically get us our stuff set up. And we're putting it globally. Rating is general and Robot is index follow. I usually put mine follow 1 day afterwards because eventually we'll be adding text to that. This has been saved, and within 2 days this will be listed in Google somewhere. And if it's not where I want it, I need to change some things. So I might edit and add a couple more keywords that I'm looking for. And then as you're writing, a lot of people say, well, what do you want to write about? Well, remember, we talked about the points in the last video. You get a point for your title. So what Google's going to look at is this word and this word. It might look up this word and it might look up this word because it's in my title or in my header 1. So as I'm going to say, finding used computers is not that hard to do, and then I would write my article using the keywords that I'm looking for in my article and hit save, because the content has to match the title, has to match the keyword, and it has to match the description to be able to do that. So that's that part on how to actually get listed. I think you guys will probably want to see how this website is actually built, because if we go to the website now to do a test and we look at articles, you're going to notice that there's my article listed automatically. So in the next video we'll be going over on how to actually utilize this software to build. But on this topic of getting on Google, this is your most important part for those people that are out there that are already using this software, that are impressed with the way it's working. Don't underutilize your articles. Google sees them as a domain. So a lot of people talk about backlinking and all that. There's no reason to backlink, in my opinion, because if your website has good enough content, people will want to link to you automatically, say, hey, can I trade with you, because your website's doing so well. Most people that are having a very hard time getting their website Googled or even ranked at all are due to the fact that they just don't have the content on their website. They'll have a really simple website. For an example, let's look at this here for a second. I'm going to look up skating rinks in Holt, Michigan. let's see what comes up. This was a client that I'm going to take on. You can kind of see they finally got their website kind of fixed up a little bit. Now it's actually showing up because I found it. But if we look at their website, this is like a horrendous website because of the fact that it has all the words that are here. So they're going to be found under Pro Shop, photos, ice cream, laser tags, because these are all the keywords that are being found. But if we look at their metadata and just take a look at it, because a lot of people say, hey, metadata doesn't matter anymore. It does actually. This is how they're going to be found right here, this keyword. And they have no keywords, they have no metadata, they have no text, and so somebody was under the belief system that that was what they'd be found at. So let's just go ahead and find them. Now that's the real website. As you can see, they have site links all set up. That's how Google finds them. But people are going to be typing in skating rinks, not this word. They don't even know what that is, unless of course they know the people personally. But if you're from out of town, you're going to lose out on all that business that these people are looking for right here. So this website will need to be redone, restructured, and re-put into order so that Google's actually listing it correctly. Now, if this is your business name and you're like, I'm not going to let go of my business name, that's okay. Buy a domain that's called skating rink holt.com, like this. And it's probably not there, but you can buy it and compete with your website of your own, and then it'll also push more of these non-rinks back down and get them out of the way so that your website stands out a little bit more, and you can start working on that and building different .coms that fit the keywords of what you're talking about. And that would be this video on this, and the next one will be going over the software.